Peace. This is the Enemy's Public, and I'm Bro.Nasir. Right now, I want to do part 2 of Chuck D doing a rally for Bernie Sanders. Something that the group is against, yet he used the likeness of Public Enemy to do a rally for Bernie Sanders. And the question I ask is, what happened to neither party is mine, not the jackass or the elephant? What happened to that? Now, it's a lot of people who are defending Chuck D. Again, no one, absolutely no one, if anybody know me, if you ask anybody who know me, they will tell you I've always rode for Public Enemy. Always. And I have to be critical of my brother because what he's doing is wrong. He's wrong for what he's doing. Pardon me 1 second. Now, when Professor Griff made a statement that Jewish people controls the entertainment business in Hollywood, he was kicked out of the group because of that. Chuck D allowed that to happen. And then he ended up getting Professor Griff a recording deal with Luke Records, Luke of the 2 Live Crew. That's when it was Professor Griff and the last Asiatic disciples. As Griff said, he was the Minister of Information for Public Enemy, road manager. He did the choreography for the S1Ws. He gave Chuck D the information to write the songs with, and he co-wrote some of the songs. Now, when Professor Griff said what he said, Chuck D said that he agreed with him. If he agreed with Professor Griff, why did Professor Griff get kicked out of the group? And also, Chuck D said that he was mad about Griff leaving the group. Yet, Chuck D allowed it to happen. Me, I would have rolled with my brother, period. I would have stuck and rolled with my brother. I would not have turned my back on my brother. That's what a brotherhood is about. Now, people are defending Chuck and they're saying that people shouldn't say things if they don't know what they're talking about. But Chuck D has been watched on a protracted period, and he's been doing this bullshit for quite some time. Now, and nobody's a supporter of Public Enemy, and Chuck D in particular, as far as I'm concerned, more than I am, so I can say this shit. Now, Chuck D said that he was upset to the point that he was driving and he was pondering the lyrics to Welcome to the Terror Dome. Okay? Now, if you listen to the second verse, he said, crucifixion ain't no fiction. So-called chosen, frozen. Apologies made to whoever pleases. Still they got me like Jesus. I'd rather sing, bring, think, reminisce about a brother while I'm in sync. Every brother ain't a brother. Cause of color, just a world to be undercover. Backstab, grab a flag from the back of the lab, told the rab get off the rag. Who was he talking about? I know he mentioned Jewish people when he said so-called chosen, frozen, but the backstabbing part, was he talking about himself? Backstabbing Griff? But he said, sad to say, I got sold down the river. Still some quiver when I deliver. Griff got sold down the river. And a lot happened to Griff since then. Being shot at, poisoned, house burning down. And his brothers were supposed to support him. When you're in a brotherhood, you support your brothers. Now, Russell Simmons, Def Jam, and all the executives at Def Jam, they had a meeting about Professor Griff. And Professor Griff was subsequently kicked out of the group for a few years. And I don't see how, if you agree with the brother, you didn't go to battle or fought like hell to keep your brother in the group. And somebody getting suspended from a rap group because of something they said, when people, okay, you don't mind rappers calling our women bitches and hoes, or talking about killing another brother, or talking about getting high, or flossing. You don't mind our brothers speaking like that, but you mind a brother like Professor Griff to say something that was true. We all know who run the entertainment business and Hollywood. Why do Jewish people get upset when somebody tell this truth? It's the truth. Is it because the filthy content that's put out there that they allow to be put out there because they do have listening parties? Okay, there's listening parties before there's an album release. At least back then it was. I don't know how the businesses ran now because just streaming and everything. But if something is put out, it was heard. And for Griff to be put out the group because of something he said, it's, you know, you fast forward to 2020, Flava Flav sent a letter to Bernie Sanders' camp saying that he don't want the likeness of him or the group associated with Bernie Sanders. Now, if you look at the flyer, it says Public Enemy, and it has radio written very tiny. Now, if it's Public Enemy Radio, it should be in larger font. That is Public Enemy Radio. And also, it's still using the likeness of Public Enemy. And when you're in a group, you can't take the likeness of a group and do things on an individualistic level. If you feel that way, okay, say Chuck D or whoever you are, say that you endorse or support whoever. But you shouldn't take the likeness of your group and say the group support Bernie Sanders. Now, the way they did the flyer was Bernie Sanders was putting up the black fist, the fight the power fist, knowing damn well Bernie Sanders is not going to fight no powers that be for us. Not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I don't like to say he is the powers that be, but he's a part of the dominant society. He is. And the nonsense about Bernie Sanders walking with Dr. Martin Luther King is stupidity. I can guarantee you that he didn't walk with 1966 to 1968, Dr. King, when Dr. King was saying to Harry Belafonte that he felt that he was integrating his people into a burning house. I guarantee you he wasn't referring to that Dr. King. He was talking about that lull black people to sleep, I have a dream, Dr. King. The marching, the wearing out the shoes, Dr. King. Not the Dr. King after meeting with Malcolm X and meeting with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He wasn't talking about that Dr. King. I can guarantee you that. Now, Dr. King stated that he felt that he was integrating his people into a burning house, meaning that's an expression of remorse. Felt like he was in error for all the integration, because when you see your buses, your cabs, your hotels, or whatever, your restaurants, everything black people owned is closing down because you're integrating white people's establishment, that is not good. It's not good. Now, today, 2020, Chuck D want to integrate our people into not a burning house, but a Bernie house, which is also a burning house. Chuck is wrong. Chuck D is wrong. If this is what's going on, if this is what Chuck D is doing, he's wrong. You do not. He said, neither party is mine, not the jackass or the elephant. That means I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. But for that bag, I don't know. A lot of people would do something for anything for the bag. Now, from my understanding, it's been a long time since Public Enemy did a show. But Chuck D is touring with Professor Rage, which is Chuck D, Bono of U2, and some other rock groups. You know, Chuck D is a rock star now. He's no longer the hard rhymer. He's a rock star. He actually get up on stage and scream his lyrics with Professor Rage. But he's not doing tours and shows with his brothers. Now, I don't know which award show. I don't know. I think it's the Grammys. Public Enemy is being honored on the Lifetime Achievement Awards. Let's see how that work out, because everybody that's in the group evidently has to show up for the award ceremony. But when I think of Public Enemy, I think of Chuck D, Flava Flav, Professor Griff, S1Ws, Terminator X. When I think of Public Enemy, that's who I think of. Now, I was ordering a shirt because, again, die-hard PE supporter, to the point that I named my channel The Enemy's Public. It's a lyric, Chuck D said. I believe the song was on Rebel Without a Pause. Now, I was buying a shirt. The shirt was dope. Dope! Only one thing that was wrong with that shirt that made me say, no, I don't want this shirt. Professor Griff wasn't on it. How do you have a Public Enemy shirt without Professor Griff on it? Makes absolutely no sense to me. That is what prohibited me from buying that shirt. Griff wasn't on the shirt. I would have had that shirt if Griff was on it. Now, there's no way I'm going to jeopardize. Come on, these brothers have been friends and brothers. They supposed to be family. for a long time. Even if you go from Yo Bum Rush the Show to now, that's a long time. It's over 30 years from Yo Bum Rush the Show. Over 30 years. I think that's like 33 years since Yo Bum Rush the Show. And if you're going to use the likeness of your group, at least talk to your brothers. And if you and your brothers are going through something as brothers, it's supposed to stay not in the media. It's supposed to stay behind the scenes. And you're not supposed to express what you and your brother is going through. Now, again, Griff has been calling out Chuck on his bullshit for a long time. Rightfully so. Because it's like you having a body and you're feeling a part of your body is insignificant. It wouldn't be there if it wasn't significant. Every part of a body is significant from the brain to the pinky damn toe. And it should be treated as such and taken care of as such. Yet, I guess, Prophets of Rage is a better deal than Public Enemy. Now, the lyrical content of Public Enemy resonated with a lot of brothers, and it woke a lot of brothers up. I have a picture of Chuck D in his FOI uniform, Fruit of Islam. Now, when he said some of the things that he said in his lyrics, it made brothers feel strong and proud. And for him to do what he's doing and what he's been doing, this is just the recent thing that he's done. But Chuck D has a protracted period of doing some bullshit. And I am I don't say fan, because I'm nobody's fan. I'm a supporter of Chuck D, Public Enemy, and the rest of the group. I'm a supporter, diehard supporter. And I'm the type of brother who wouldn't even have to listen to the album. I just go get it. That's how it was, because I knew I was going to get something out of it as far as the lyrics. I mean, I don't know if the Bomb Squad's doing the music now, but especially when the Bomb Squad was doing the music, it was just crazy to me. It's good music to work out to, run to, spar to. I love that type of music, drill to. Good music to do all that to. But brothers who are followers and supporters of PE know exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't have to call nobody to speak to them to know what's going on. Because I know what's going on. Because I always knew what was going on. Ever since the incident, the situation with Professor Griff, it's been back and forth. To the point that, some places Griff was unable to go because Griff was real and he stood on what he said. He was real. What you see is what you get with Griff. He was real about what he said. He meant what the hell he said. And he has love for his people, period. Not to say that Chuck D don't. Because I don't know what's in his heart, but I know what he's doing. You don't leave your brothers. You can do your outside adventures, and you can do your outside ventures and outside things with whoever you want to do it with. But you have to remember who walked with you, who soldiered with you, okay? Who took it to that stage and gave it their all. You have to remember that. And remember who your brothers is, who your real brothers are. I don't care who you do business with. Doesn't matter. Remember who your brothers, your true brothers are. Fuck that financial shit. You gotta make your money, but when it all boils down to it, remember who your brothers are. I know I have brothers that will kill and die on my behalf. That's why I don't get into bullshit, because I know if I call them, it's on and popping. That's why certain things I handle on my own, certain things I'll call my brothers and get counsel from them. But you never leave and abandon your brothers, because you have children coming up behind you. And if they don't know nothing about loyalty to their brothers, you have a bunch of disloyal people running around. This is the enemy's public, and I'm Bro.Nasir. Peace.